Daf Yomi, Tractate Bava, Batra, page 137b, is middle of a question. If he does not fulfill the obligation with it, for what purpose did the owner give it to him? Mipak la nafik be lamai yehevi nihale. Ela mipak dechule al melo pligi de nafik be machra o achla ba'anu limachloikes Rabbi Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. Rather, with regard to fulfilling his obligation, everyone agrees that he fulfills his obligation with it. It is only in a case where the first recipient sold it or consumed it that we have arrived at the dispute between Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi and Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel. According to Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, if he sold it, the second recipient can repossess the etrog from the purchaser, and if he consumed it, he must pay the second recipient its value. Whereas, according to Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, he owes nothing to the second recipient, as the etrog belongs to him. Amar Rava bar Rav Huno, Achin shekonu esrog b'tefusas habayis, not le'echad behen yotza boi. Im yochol lo'ech lo yotza, v'im lav lo yotza. Rava bar Rav Huno says, in the case of brothers who acquired an esrog with money from the jointly held property of the estate, and one of them took it on Sukkot and attempted to fulfill his obligation with it, the halacha depends on the limits of his ownership of the etrog. If he may eat it, meaning his brothers allow him to do so, he has fulfilled his obligation to perform the mitzvah, and if not, he has not fulfilled his obligation. And this is specifically in a case where there is an esrog for each and every one of the brothers, but if the other brothers get merely a quince or a pomegranate, he has not fulfilled his obligation, even if he has the right to eat it. Amar Rava, esrog zeh nasun lecha b'matona al menas שתחזירהו לי, נת לא יצא, בוי החזירו יצא, לא החזירו לא יצא, כמשמעון. דמתנה על מנס להחזיר שמה מתנה. Rava says, if one person said to another, this etrog is given to you as a gift on the condition that you return it to me, and the recipient took it on Sukkot and attempted to fulfill his obligation with it, if he ultimately returned it, he has fulfilled his obligation, and if he did not return it, he has not fulfilled his obligation, as he did not fulfill the condition, thereby retroactively invalidating the gift. The Gemara explains that Rava teaches us that a gift given on the condition that it be returned is considered a valid gift. De Rav Bivi bar Abaye kol emas de havas azla lemigzere have kaped abi lave akeniteni ele kol shene chayav azali hu akeneni ele levno katan. The Gemara relates that there was a certain woman who had a palm tree on the land of Rav Bivi bar Abaye. Whenever she would go to harvest the produce from it, he would get angry at her for trampling on his crops. Since she did not wish to anger him, she decided to temporarily waive her right to the tree's produce and transferred ownership of it to him for all the years of his life, so that after his death she would once again be able to harvest the produce. He then went and transferred it to his minor son, so that it would remain in his family even following his death. Amar Rav Huna b'rei Rav Yehoshua mishum na'asu mimule imritu mile muliasa mili muliasa afilu Rav Shimon ben Gamliel lo komar ela al-achel aval ha'atzmo lo. Rav Huna, son of Rav Yehoshua, said to Rav Bivi bar Abaye, is it because you descend from truncated people, as Rav Bivi's truncated mu'aleh? Okay, because Rav Bivi's family traced their lineage to Eli, all of whose descendants were condemned to premature death. See 1 Samuel 2:31. That you speak truncated and unsound matters. Even Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel will hold that in the case where one says, my property is given to you, and after you just so and so, if the first recipient sells the property, the sale is valid. It says so only in the case where it was given to another person, but if the giver had said that it will return to himself, he did not say that the first recipient can sell it, as the giver clearly intended to maintain his ownership of the property. Accordingly, Rav Huna, the son of Yehoshua, held that Rabbi's sale did not take effect. Amar Rav Nachman, Shozenos u'nachov maton amanas shitachzireu li hikdisho v'echziro arei ze mukdash u'muchzal. Rava says, that Nachman says, if one said to another, this ox is given to you as a gift on the condition that you return it to me, and the recipient consecrated it, and then returned it to him, it is consecrated and returned. The consecration takes effect, and although the owner may not use it, nevertheless, it is considered returned, and the condition is fulfilled. Amar le Rav Nachman, maya hadere, amar le umay chasere, ela amar Rav Ashi chazinan, I amar le al menashitasirehu ha'adare. Amar le al menashitasirehu li midi tichazi le amar le. Rava said to Rav Nachman, what did he return to you? What did he return to him? The ox was not returned to the possession of the giver, as it is consecrated. Rav Nachman said to him, and what did he cause him to lose? He returned the ox. Rather, Rav Ashi said, we must rule in this case based on what we see. If the giver said to the recipient, on the condition that you return it, it is considered returned as he returned it. But if he said to him, on the condition that you return it to me, he was effectively saying to him that he must return something fit for him to use. Consequently, the consecration prevents the condition from being fulfilled, and both the gift and the consecration are retroactively nullified. Amar Rav Yehuda Mashmua ala koysev nechosef le'acher v'yamar halo iev shivahen kona v'afilo oimed v'tzoiva soveach v'Rabbi Yochanan omar lo kona. Rav Yehuda says that Shmuel says, if one writes a document granting his property to another, and the other person says, I do not want it, he acquires it, and this is the halacha, even if he is standing and shouting in protest that he does not want it. And Rabbi Yochanan says that he does not acquire it. Amar Rav Abba bar Mamel lo pligi. Abba bar Mamel said, and they do not disagree with each other.